Hi, I'm Crystal Gilbert, and if you're like most people, you are feeling a little bit unbalanced. Today, we're going to talk about living in an unbalanced world. So, most of the people that I meet are feeling the pressures of an unbalanced world and an unbalanced life. They feel the stress of trying to balance work and life and everything in between. The weight of toxic filled relationships slowly damages our self worth. Financial stress clouds our purpose and puts strain on our marriage. And our health issues have made us lose sight of the importance of finding the simple joys in life. So much is going on day to day in our lives, right? The stats don't lie. In America, 53% of marriages end in divorce, and 55% of people are dissatisfied with their jobs. Over half. Could you imagine driving to a job you don't like and then heading home to a spouse that you know is not going to be fruitful for you? It's not going to be a refuge or a sanctuary. So there's no getting away, there's no downtime, there's no breath in life. And then imagine doing it day after day after day, year after year after year. Now, mixing the average household credit card debt of over $16,000 and the average student loan debt of over $37,000. Then toxic friendships affecting 80% of relationships and 35% of Americans being defined as clinically obese. This results in an incredibly unbalanced world. And it's no shock to anyone looking at that, why we feel the way that we do sometimes, why we feel like we're missing it, that there's something off and we don't know how to fix it. The one thing that everyone has in common is the desire to live a life of less stress, more balance, and a stronger purpose in their lives. And I dare say, getting to wake up every morning living with passion as well. Is that you? Could you use a little less stress in your life? Could you use a little more balance? Not feeling like everything is sliding out of control and you're just struggling to get by each day? Well, that was me for so long. And I thought that once I had certain things in my life that everything would magically get better. It didn't. It only added a variation. So maybe one part would get more balanced and less stressed, but then another one would dip. And it was like I could never get ahead. I could never get to that place where I felt balanced, where I felt whole, where I felt that I could wake up and every day wasn't a struggle in some capacity. If it wasn't my health, it was my family. If it wasn't my family, it was my finances, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Is that you? Can you relate? Do you raise your hand and say, yes, that's me? Well, over the past few years, I I will say I was completely unbalanced for a while. And I wound up finding these certain tools and techniques and also a framework and a formula that I started implementing. And it kind of mixed all together. So one thing from here, one thing from here, one thing from here. And what happened was each day that I applied this, the days got a little bit easier. Each month that went by, I started feeling that progress. And then I can look back now, currently at the end of this year, going into a new cycle. And I can see where there were dips and things, but instead of it like ping-ponging, there was still a way to get this streamlined thing so it wasn't so out of balance. Just because one area fell apart didn't mean they all had to fall apart. Now that has taken me time to get to that place, but I can honestly say this is probably no, this is the first year in my life that I can look back and go in true amazement and gratitude for how far I've come. And I'm gonna not cry. um, but that's overwhelming. How many years have I spent going through that cycle, praying, hoping, doing whatever I could to not look back on each year and regret, to not have the same goals year after year and them never getting accomplished, and feeling really like a failure every single time that I didn't meet those goals. And it started to feel hopeless. I'm in my 30s now. So all that time in my life, never moving forward to my goals, never having any semblance of having it all together. They talk about adulting, and I was not doing well in that. But none of us really are by default. We're not taught the things that we need to be taught to thrive and to adult well. But if you look at the people who are actually doing it, there is some consistencies in there. And now, again, pulling from all the different things and implementing it, I am super excited to be able to start sharing some of those things with you. So the next step, if this sounds like you, I am hosting a workshop where we go into the top tier nuggets and break down some things and get a good idea of what I have been implementing in my own life that has been revolutionary and leading to my total transformation, not just for me, but within everyone in my household too. So it's that ripple effect. And I want you to think about that. What would it be like? What's the ripple effect in your life right now? Honestly, be honest with yourself. What's the ripple effect in your life right now? And then what would it be like if you learned how to adult? If you learned how to manage? If you learned how to thrive in your life? What ripple effect would that be for those around you, for your job, for your career, for ministry purposes, how you could influence and impact the world? What would that be like? Well, if that at all resonates with you and you are ready to shift and learn those things, then come on and join me in the workshop. You can find all the information in the links below. And always, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Also, you will find that information in the links below. Make sure to check and register for the workshop today. Bye for now.